Welcome back to Cricket for Americans. Nick here.
Gabe, the night watchman.
And Gabe, I don't know what it is. I'm not sure if we're just too busy this summer, but it seems like every time we get on to record some, it always seems like it's been forever. So I'm excited to be able to talk about some cricket. We are here in this video talking about the WTC from the time of recording this, less than 2 days away, ladies and gentlemen. Less than 2 days away. 2 days away until we figure out what happens. Before we get into that, before we start talking, because we have another episode of Cricket Convos today for the WTC, I got a few things of note that's happened in the cricketing world. I'm just going to go around the wire real quick. And we got a poll on our channel. Go to the poll. Vote on which of these items you want a Cricket Convos on. Let us know. Vote for what you want the most, and we'll get that out to you as soon as we can. So first of all, I'm sure you know this, and I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm just going to the news. Your West Indies had a test against South Africa.
It was rough.
And South Africa only needed one innings, my friend. They only needed one innings.
It was rough, cousin.
And you know who you can't blame? You know who you can't blame?
Campbell.
Because he wasn't there.
Bro, I was at school, I'm teaching summer school. So I was at school and I kept getting these alerts and I'm like, are you kidding me, bro? I was just disgusted. Like, oh, it's so bad.
Wickets were 2 for 1. They were handing them out 2 for 1.
Yeah, and then there was a spell when the wickets were just falling. I'm like, what's going on over there? Somebody check the ball. Somebody check the ball. They scuffed that thing up. There's sandpaper. Something's got to go. Something's going on.
It was Wall Street, and it was time to sell, my friend. The bells were ringing. But I'm gonna contain Gabe right here because if you want us to talk more about that, that's one of your options. Also, we got talking about WTC. There's a team that's part of the WTC called New Zealand. Oh my gosh! I hope nothing but the best for New Zealand and their fans. We have quite a few as patrons and subscribers and viewers. We love them all, right? But it figures that when a team I'm rooting for is going against a behemoth like New Zealand, they're not coming in soft. They're not coming in cold. They're coming in guns a-blazing, and they've rested like 35 guys for crying out loud. So they got a 2-test series in England, and the first one was in London. They had a draw. England, in my opinion, they were fortunate enough to make that a draw. And then the second test, ouch. I mean, all they needed was 41 for 2 in the second innings, New Zealand, to put England away. England had their second innings of 122. And I'm telling you right now, I don't want to get too much into it, but if you want us to talk more about that series that happened, our 3 wickets on that one, all I'm saying right now, Gabe, there was no Chris Wokes. That's what happens. Happens.
No Chris Wokes and no Jofra Archer, man. And that's actually
Archer, I mean, he's kind of getting like rested up and healed up, but Chris Wokes, are you kidding me?
Bro, they're talking about Archer's elbow injury may be more of a concern than we let on. So, I mean, we can talk about that if that's what they choose in the poll, but I'm personally concerned because I love Chris. Did I say Chris Archer? I love Jofra Archer, and I think that he may be the injury bug, man. I don't know, man. It's oof. You never like hearing about pitchers or in baseball with elbows. So in bowling, in cricket, I'm sure it's the same thing. You don't like to hear about any kind of elbow injury. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Another storyline that we could talk about if you want is because India is doing the WTC right now. They got their tour in Sri Lanka. They're doing the B team, literally the B team. The second squad is what they're calling it. Shikhar Dhawan is the captain of that squad, which is super cool, super exciting. So if you guys want us to talk more about that, there's a whole lot of new names on that squad, my friend, that's going. I think it's in Sri Lanka, their tour there. And a lot of guys names that we know of, but we never would have thought we would see in a test series this early on in their careers, at least one being Paddy Call, baby.
Ooh, oh, Paddy. I love me some Paddy Call. Bro, I don't know, but how do you feel about Shikhar Dhawan being left off of the test team that's playing in the WTC? And don't you think just because India's already experienced all these injuries, don't you think you should have some of those dudes in the quarantine bubble just in case somebody goes down? You can bring them up. I mean, who cares about this other test match? I mean that's my personal.
Let me correct myself. It's a limited format tour in Sri Lanka. It's not test. My bad. ODI T20. But I think that's the answer to your question. I believe that Shikhar Dhawan is more of a limited format guy for the international squad as far as one of your top guys you're going to have on there. I'm sure he's played Test many times in his career, but I think that's just the quick answer. Another thing here, I don't have too much. Oh, where'd it go? Here we go. I don't have too much about this. I haven't even looked this up. So if you want to talk about this, let us know. Shakib Al-Hassan, I got this message on Instagram. He completely lost his cool. I think he may have gotten suspended too. Like he lost his mind. He was picking up the stumps and he was going nuts. So
Ooh, I did see something on Twitter about that. I did see something, and then an umpire has something to do with that. Just saying. Just
Dude,
saying.
Get me going on the MLB umpires. Oh,
I'm just saying. I think an umpire has something to do with that. But yeah, I heard about this. Somebody sent me a tweet as well, and I was like, oh man. And in Major League Baseball is one thing. We get players that get tossed all the time, but in cricket, oh my gosh, could it be a 6-month ban, a year ban? I mean, remember they gave was it Rabada? They gave Rabada 2 games for bumping into Steve Smith, bumping into him. You know what I'm saying, dude? Like, this was blatant. I'm telling you, man, it's bad news. It's bad news.
And the last one here, they're probably not going to vote on this, so I'm not sure if I have enough room for this last one. I just want to mention real quick. David Warner, Marcus Stoinis has decided to opt out of the 100. They don't want to go for whatever reason, maybe personal reasons, whatever. So that's kind of big news too. I think, I could be wrong, I think they're both in the same squad, so that sucks for that team of the 100 in their inaugural season. But a whole lot of news right there. Thanks for letting me go through that, Gabe, and the audience. Let us know which of those you really want a Cricket Convos, if any of those, for on our poll on our channel. But all right, before we get into this, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get in. This is going to be like, I don't want to say unplanned because we have lots of thoughts. We've been thinking about WCC for months, but we have no script. We have no notes, and it's not because of laziness. It's because this is like probably the truest Cricket Convos we've ever had, where we're just talking about it. Just talking about what's coming up. So in less than 2 days, the WTC, okay, I will be on our channel. Gabe's doing summer school. I'm not. I'll be on here as early as I can get up, not too early, to check out at least the last session of that first day. But we got these 2 squads. Gabe, I'm going to let you choose. What do you want to talk about first with this record, this epic, this inaugural WTC?
I want to go through the squads first. I want to go through the squads. And I know that many of you guys already know the squads, but just in case, your internet was down or you just didn't know who was on the squad, Nick, you could go ahead and go through your squad first, India, and I'll go with the opposing side, New Zealand.
My squad? Am I an Indian fan? Oh, yes, I am. All right. So India squad's got 15 guys in the WTC final. Going there, we know only 11 can play. So this is crazy. Usually we see like 18 or 20 sometimes. This is 15. So that means only 4 of these guys are not going to be in there. But you got Rohit Sharma, Shubman Gill, Pujara, Kohli, Rahane, Vihari, Pant, Saha, Ashwin, Jadeja, Bumrah, Ishant Sharma, Mohammad Shami, Umesh Yadav. Oh, and there he is. I was about to lose my mind. And Lord Siraj. All right. Those are the 15 guys right there. I'm going to tell you right now, it's not too many surprises there. We've seen these guys before. Maybe the biggest surprise for me is Vihari, but he still was legendary in that 3rd test match in Australia, him and Ashwin. But of these names, that's my biggest surprise. Absolutely. Second biggest surprise. Umesh Yadav. He's not getting a chance, ladies and gentlemen. I don't see it happening. I could be very wrong. 4 guys. I'm going to say, I'm going to give you right now, the 4 guys I don't think are going to be in the top squad, probably the safest bets. Okay? And I would love to say Rahane, but he's the vice captain because just the last few matches we've seen him play hasn't been that strong, but he's a vice captain. He's going to be in there. I don't think Vihari. I don't think Saha. I don't think Yadav. And so most people are going to sit there, they're screaming at their phone or their device right now and saying, okay, Nick, you know who the 4th one is. You know it's Lord Siraj, but I don't want him to go anywhere. But unfortunately, I think from these guys, he's going to be the one to go, right?
Well,
if he's the one to go.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Saha for sure is a backup wicketkeeper, so he has no business in there unless there's an injury to Pant. We know that. Umesh Yadav, I can't even believe he made the squad, bro. I would have gone with somebody else because he's bro.
Right?
You know what I mean? He's been out of form, and I'm just like, yo, all right, whatever. Lord Siraj, I love, and remember, he came through big time in Australia. We know that the grounds do not play to spin. Obviously, you're still gonna have a spinner in there, right? Just to switch things up. You're gonna still have Robbie Ashwin in there, but I agree with you. I love Lord Siraj. Again, Muhammad Shami did not look good the last time we saw him. Is he over his injury? Is he over his arm injury? I don't know. Man, looking at this list right now, dude, it's tough. For me, I will tell you one thing that surprised me. Shubman Gill was really bad, and I mean really bad the last time we seen him. Bro, last time we saw Shubman Gill, he got dropped off the test team. That bad form continued into the IPL, and I love Shubman Gill. Go back and watch when the first time they left him off, we lost our minds, right? Right after the very first IPL. But hopefully, has he played enough tests? I don't know what he's done in the domestic league, but has he done something to show them he's ready? I mean, you really are going to bet on his form
all
coming
it
back?
takes is one good innings. That's all it takes, because rarely these guys like a century or half century do they do good. Their second innings or whatever. All you need is one. I think they're banking on that. I'm a little surprised, even though we were the guys that killed him publicly. Right. Shaw, like, why not go, for that, that lightning in a bottle, right?
Right. Shaw, and his form looked really good in the IPL. And though I know what you guys are going to say.
And domestic too, but domestic as well. He was really, really hot.
IPL is different than Test, but he also played well in the domestic league. Going into the IPL in the domestic league, he had like 2 centuries back to back. So, man, I don't know. It is what it is. That's their team, and I agree with you. I think that, we're not going to see Saha, no way. And unfortunately, it's going to be Lord Siraj unless there's an injury, because I just think that a guy like Muhammad Shami has too much cachet not to be in there. You know what I'm saying? The very first WTC, we know pretty much what the batting order is going to be. So yeah, that's an interesting squad.
Yeah. And I think you have to have Gill in there, because who else are you going to have at number 2? Is Kohli going to put himself at number 2 in a test match? I don't see that happening. Vihari, I think batsman to batsman, I think I do trust Vihari a little more, but he's not going to go on number 2. Rohit Sharma is going to open it. That's obvious. Pujara 3 and Kohli 4, Rahane 5, Pont 6. So yeah, I think those 4 guys are going to be the guys out. I would be shocked. I really would be. Even with our limited knowledge base, I'd be shocked if our audience disagree with this. I think Yadav, Siraj, Saha, and Vihari, I think they're out unless an injury happens beforehand.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe some's come down the news wire just today or yesterday that we're not aware of. Right. But I mean, this is the squad you got to rock with India. You really do. We've seen this squad many, many times. Right. I feel like they can get it done. But, I mean, let's talk about New Zealand for a little bit, because those guys are terrifying, man. They just chewed up England, and England's no slouch, my friend.
So, this is a 15-man squad for the World Test Championship team. We've got, the West Indies killer. Let's call him the everybody killer, bro. Kane Williamson. Killer? Oh, man. He's a savage, bro. Yeah, the Gabe killer. Kane Williamson, all right? We got Tom Bedlam. Trent Bolt, we know about that guy. Oh my gosh. Ooh. Devin Conway, the youngster.
Double century in his debut.
Exactly. Colin DeGrami. Can't pronounce that last name.
Grandhome? I'm not sure. Yeah.
The Grandhome, exactly. Matt Henry, Kyle Jamieson. You're Kyle Jamieson. Woo. Bro, they are Tom Latham, Henry Nichols, Ajaz Patel, Tim Southey. Now, Southey, we've seen him get pumped before, but the dude can get wickets, and, a two-way player, man. Ross Taylor, Neil Wagner, BJ Watling, and Will Young. All right, that's the squad. And right off the top, man, just because we're talking about pace, if I'm looking at pace, man, I really like Bolt and Kyle Jamieson, bro. Again, if you look at India, okay, you got Bumrah. He's got that pace. He's gonna come. But do you trust Muhammad Shami like you would a Kyle Jamieson? Not the one we've seen, not post injury, Muhammad Shami. So to me, advantage there.
Jamieson, he's still like a babe out there when it comes to tests. I know he's rising with the bullet, as they say in the Billboard charts. But I mean, to me, he's such a wild card, and I think he has a chance of making that starting 11. I really do.
I do too. Oh, Jameson's in there for sure. Kyle Jameson guaranteed
sure.
is in there for sure.
Remember,
Bro,
4 guys are out, and I'm ashamed of myself. I got to do a better job with New Zealand because I only know about 6 or 7 of these names out of 15. That's just not good enough. So I can't look at this as confident as I can with the India squad and say, oh, these 4 guys are out. But do you want to even venture to take a guess on which 4 guys will be out?
Well, I can tell you from the beating I've seen that they put on my West Indies. Oh, dude, everybody's like, watch what, and then I watch. I also watched them in ODI, bro, and it was against Australia, and they hammered them too, bro. Bro, New Zealand is really good.
They know how to play.
Really good. Oh my god.
With their population of like 500 people. They really know how to play.
You know, everybody there plays. Everybody's there.
Everyone. Rite of passage.
Man, baby comes out in the hospital right away. Oh, they put a cricket ball in his hand. You know how they say you put a baseball in the hand here? No, cricket ball right in his hand, dude.
It's like Israel. Everyone has to serve in the military. In New Zealand, everyone's got to play cricket.
Everybody's got to go play cricket. No questions asked. No questions asked. It's part of the curriculum at school. You know what I mean? You know how we got PE here or whatever, physical education? No, they got reading, writing, arithmetic, and cricket. And cricket is half the day, too. That takes up half of the day as far as the curriculum.
Oh, yeah, get some test practice in.
You know what I'm saying, bro? But no, it's seriously impressive. Trent Bolt, bro, you got to understand that they're playing in England and the conditions are more conducive to having guys with pace.
They were just there and they dominated.
Pace and swing. So Trent Bolt and Kyle Jamison, I believe, are going to be in there. Tim Southey, too. I think Tim Southey is going to be in there as well. As far as their bowlers are concerned, I'm not sure who the 4th bowler is going to be. You know, you're batting. There's no surprise. Kane Williamson, Devin Conway. I mean, come on, that dude's a savage. It's going to be a really. I think that batting wise, though, to me, I think India's deeper because here's the thing. We've seen Ravi Ashwin put up a century, bro. All right. India could lose. Let's say the worst case scenario happens and the top 4 go. All right. You're talking about Kohli gone on a duck. Oh my gosh.
How dare you?
Here comes the hate. How dare you? Here comes the hate in the comment.
What is wrong with you?
I'm just saying, let's just say the worst absolutely happens, right? Kohli gone. Sharma gone. Shubman Gill gone. Rahane gone. Your top 4 gone. Bro, you still got to get through the gauntlet. They got Pant, all right? They've got don't forget Excalibur Wieldy, bro.
I can't wait to see it.
Bro, Ravi Jadeja. They're super deep. They're about, I would say, they're about 9 deep, 8 to 9 deep. Because even their bowlers, right? Their 2 spinners, and Robbie Ashwin, he could rock, bro. He could rock. I've seen him rock with the bat. So it's really, really tough to say, man, advantage New Zealand all the way. Because here's the thing. England, and no disrespect to England fan, bro, they're top heavy. Once you get through that top, it's bad. And we've even said the top, that opening is a nightmare, okay? They've got 3-4 guys that got to hit for them, and if they don't hit, they're done. You can't say that about India. It doesn't matter. Guess what? Kohli is firing. We got Sharma. Sharma's not firing. Yeah. Listen, Jadeja can get you 50, all right? And can get some wickets to boot. We know he's a savage. The defense is real good. But, again, with England, that's why they're so top heavy. They depend on a couple of guys, and if those guys don't come through, the bottom is ugly, bro. As they say, that tail is long, cousin. That tail is long.
Oh, man.
India's tail wags, and I'm not questioning England. I'm just saying India's tail wags. Bro, I was rooting for Australia. I thought it was done. I was talking smack to you. And I'm like, bro, it's over. It's over. And in this Australia, in the Gabba, all right, it wasn't Kohli. He was home. No disrespect, but he was, bringing in a new baby to the world. Not him, but his wife.
That thing. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't the names you expect. It wasn't Rohit Sharma. It wasn't what's his boy's name?
Jadeja, Pujara,
Bahari. All right, it wasn't Bahari. It wasn't the
Rahane.
You know what I mean? You got a hobbled what's his name? That helped job. I can't remember his name.
Ashwin
that was out there, and then you got the nut, and I'm gonna call him a nut. It absolutely nut, yeah. Hitting shots. Rashid Pant. I'm like, what is this guy doing? Everybody in the world said, okay, they're going to go for a draw. It's going to go for a draw. No, he wants to win. He wants to win. You know what I mean, bro? You like, when you see that kind of play, you're just like, oh my gosh, you really can't underestimate that team. And I think the conditions are still more suitable for New Zealand. New Zealand should be comfortable with the grounds, but you cannot count India out. New Zealand better not think that this is the West Indies, my West Indies. Oh my gosh, it was so bad. I'm like, dude, can somebody not just trip Kane Williamson? Honestly, 251. How disrespectful.
Didn't you lose your mind when Ecclestone did that?
I would have I would have shoulder checked them. I would have done a Sophie Ecclestone. Oops, I just shoulder checked you into the ground, Kane Williamson.
You're off the rails
for what he did. Come on.
New Zealand is the last team I see getting too overconfident. They are such a classy group. They honestly, they make me very, very nervous as a guy who's rooting for India, wanting to see India hoist up that very first WTC. I think with the conditions, I think with the guys coming in, I think in just how their B squad and a lot of the guys play on that squad against England in England, I think New Zealand's the favorites, and India, they're the underdogs at this point. I really do. There's been a lot of guys in that India squad because I've seen so much of their guys play that are not coming in super hot right now. I mean, you're talking about Southey, right? The dude got 6 wickets in one of the matches against England in one of the innings. 6 of them in one innings. I mean, this guy's a savage. Jameson got 3 in one of those innings. I mean, these guys, they're coming in. They know exactly what to do. And this squad is not to be trifled with, my friend.
Let me ask you a question. And I'm trying to look this up right now. Yes, Southampton. That's where they're playing, right? Southampton in England. Unless I'm incorrect, do you know what the weather forecast is, my friend?
Rain?
Bro, that's another thing. Southampton, look it up because I'm looking it up on my iPhone, and I'm sure that this is correct. Southampton, yeah, it looks like they've got rain in the weather. So, I mean, dude, what in your opinion is the outcome of this match? What do you think is the most likely outcome of this match? A win or a draw? I was so mad when, there's draws available. What are you talking about? There's a draw. Yeah, we can have a draw. What do you think?
I get that rain or this or that. I think we're going to have a winner. I'm telling you.
Let me tell you the forecast.
Okay, hold on. We haven't even talked about some of these guys right here. You mentioned Trent Bolt. This guy, he missed the first test against England, came in for the second test, got a bazillion wickets. You know, that's exaggeration right there. Granholm got himself some wickets. We know about what Devin Conway did in his debut. Kane Williams has come back from injury, but he's always top notch. You got guys, like I said, Kyle Jamieson, you mentioned him as well. Ross Taylor, we know what he can bring. I mean, Henry Nichols, he was in there. I'm not sure if he's going to be in the starting 11, but he was in there doing his thing. They have so many guys, and they are just like, they're so poised. That's the one word I'm going to use to describe the entire team is poised. They just have that. And they just missed the World Cup against England. Some people say they got hosed, right? They just missed that.
Don't even start that, bro. Listen, controversy, bro. Controversy. Just saying, there was a phantom run there that shouldn't have been. All right, we're gonna call it the phantom run, the short run that shouldn't have been. Then we go to the super over, and I mean, dude, did Big Ben? And we're gonna call him Big Ben. You know what I'm saying? That's his new nickname. Did Big Ben intentionally run in the way?
Deflect gate. Deflect gate.
Deflate gate instead of deflate gate. Deflect gate. You know what I mean, bro? Like the way it came down to the wire. Like,
that's what I'm saying, can New Zealand be denied again? I don't know. It would be huge for Kohli. You know, I say it many times, but it's not true. Kohli has won himself some championships. He was on that 2011 squad. He was in the 2013 Champions Trophy, all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, he's done some things, right? But, I mean, it's they make me nervous. And even when, like, New Zealand is not firing in all cylinders, they have Henry Nichols getting 61. They got Devin Conway 200. And he gets out by a run out of all things, for crying out loud. Right. I don't know. What do you think? You think you see a draw coming? in the forecast?
I'll be honest. I'm actually in a forecast. I do see possible draw, man. And this was really not well, in my opinion. It wasn't thought out well because you planned it in England. You know, summertime
they
in
were
England,
going for
bro.
Lords though, right? And then they had to make a little change.
But you know that summertime in England is rainy. And I was going to tell you, Friday, 90% chance precipitation, cousin. 90% chance precipitation. Saturday, 50%. Sunday, back to 90% chance.
Oh my God.
Monday, 80% chance. I'm telling you, bro. So
days 1, 3, and 4 are going to be called to rain?
Look at it. Look at it right there. Look at it right there. You know what I mean? So it's going to be like our very first test match. Remember the very first test match? We got up at 3 o'clock in the morning to watch it. And they're like, oh, sorry, boys. Rain delay. They start playing. They're 4 overs in. Rain delay. Like, are you kidding me? You know what I'm saying?
Do you
it's
think
going to be
there's
like
any
that.
chance we have a declare?
But I don't know. With that being said, they're going to try to get through the game. Of course, they're going to try to get through the game. But that really concerns me. With that being said, you know, man, looking at these teams, I gotta say, I'm actually happy that it's both these teams here, and here's why. Because no matter who wins, these are the 2 best teams in the world right now, and there's not going to be. Let's say England was in there right now. England, you're coming to bat with a Ben Stokes that's still on the mend, right? Still healing from that broken finger, not 100%. You're one of your best bowlers in Jofra Archer. Elbow gone, you know what I'm saying? Like they're a beat up team. Australia, we know what's going on with them. So, you know, to me, it's the 2 best teams that are the 2 healthiest teams, and I think we're gonna get a memorable match. You know what I'm saying? No matter what, it'll be a memorable match, and it should be as it should be. I hope it does not end in a tie. Oh gosh, that would be so bad. Or
I would not mind a draw at all, because per the rules, if both teams draw, they're both champions. And all that matters is going down in history. I know the fans are going to hate it. People are this or that. All I know is that would mean that India, and I like New Zealand, World Cup champions, first ever. I would have no problem with that. And that brings me to the strategic side. If there's no incentive, unless you have a lot, you know, the pride of being the only champion, if there's not as much of an incentive to avoid that draw, if you're winning, is there any point in declaring, especially with the rain? Is there, let's throw 800 runs out there and not ever declare, because if this ends in a draw, we're still champions. I mean, is that just the craziest thing ever, just to not declare? Or do you still have to keep that in mind if you're so obsessed with getting that result, that win?
I mean, here's the thing. If it were me, I'm declaring, bro, because I want to win. All right. You don't ever go into a game or a match thinking I want to tie. I want to win. I want to win. And if I lose, I lose. If I fall flat on my face, I fall flat on my face. But I would be afraid of one thing happening where the media, if you do that, you know right away they're going to tell you out. You guys knew there was rain in the forecast. You guys knew of the limitations, but you didn't declare. Let's say what we saw South Africa do. What was it, 600 before they declared or whatever? So it can happen. It's like, were you guys trying to win this game, or were you looking for the draw? What do you say up there on the podium? You know what I mean?
I'll tell you exactly what you say. We are champions. We have the trophy. Look at the history books that just got written, just got updated. We are champions. Next question, please.
Not that easy, cousin. Not that easy, bro.
It would be that easy for me. I would just bust out the trophy.
You know, bro. I mean, to me personally, that's how I would play it. But I know other people would play it differently. Listen, in the NFL, you get flack a lot of times when coaches are kneeling on that ball at the last minute because they're like, you know what? It's overtime. I'm not going to risk it. If we draw or a tie in the NFL, is better than a loss, and they do it. Coaches get absolutely crushed for it, but it matters in the standings. So I get it. You know, it's part of the game, right? That was my one concern, though, because I was like, it's England, and actually a friend of mine's that works at the MGM, you know, he's a bellman. He's a huge cricket fan, and he was like, man, I wonder how much rain we're going to get. And I was like, it's summertime, bro. And he's like, not in England, bro. This is raining season, brother. It's gonna be
know.
pouring. And I'm like, oh
We
my
know.
gosh. And I forgot that this was right around last time in the summer, right when we saw one of our very first test matches. And I think we might have seen it in May, actually. It was May or June. I can't remember.
No, it was June.
And it's like, it rains a lot. So I'm like, oh, why would they do it in May, man? I just don't understand.
Let me
not May.
get us.
Why would they do it in June?
Let me get us out on this one, okay? So, like I said, I think the Champions Trophy that Coley won, I think that was a T20 squad. He's got the ODI World Cup, not as captain, but on the squad. He would be the first ever participant on a squad, and the other guys that were also in the squads, I'm not sure who they all were, that has a championship in each format, right? Now, I get the Champions Trophy is a little different, but it's still a Champions Trophy. Not just that, but this is the first time India is going to a championship type situation without Dhoni on the squad, without Dhoni as the captain. It's been like 14 years or something like that. So this is huge for Cole. I know if you ask Cole, I don't care about all that kind of crap. This is huge for Kohli's legacy. If he's able to get this done, so much of the negativity in the past of not being able to be clutch enough, this or that, a lot of that gets brushed away.
Right.
You can the same argument can be made for Kane Williamson. Now he doesn't have other World Cup championships, but he's part of the Fab Four. If he can get a Test championship, the first ever World Cup championship for his country, that would be huge. I mean, a lot of legacies on the line. This is for the fans of the game. It's for us like to talk about it. I think it would be bigger for Kohli if he won as opposed to bigger than Williamson. But just imagine either way, like there's got to be a lot of pressure. Kohli's been here before as far as pressure and whatnot. What do you think about the legacy aspect that I presented there?
You know, I think players, it's almost impossible to ignore the noise, bro. You know what I'm saying? And listen, you could do everything you want to do. Go ahead, stay off Twitter, stay off the internet, go on a social media blackout. All right, your Uber driver is gonna ask you, "Hey, are you ready for this game? Did you hear what they said in this?" You know what I mean? That's just real. That's just real. You cannot put on blinders like a horse and just put out all the outside noise. I remember JL talking about that in the test. Right? It's all noise, boys. Ignore the noise. Until he let the noise get to him, and he's spazzing at reporters and throwing stuff. It's impossible to do. So to say, and you're right. Both of them would say, "Oh no, we're not thinking about that. We're just thinking about it as another test match or whatever." No, they understand how big it is. They understand the stakes, and the pressure is absolutely on. No questions asked. The first time somebody blows a decision, you know what I'm saying? Where it was like, "Oh man, I should have challenged that," or "Oh, why didn't I shouldn't have challenged that." Up until even the coin flip, all right? Kohli's notorious.
You know he's going to lose the coin toss.
Kohli is notorious for losing the coin flip. I guarantee you, he's been working out for weeks. Just
dude, if I was him, I would put a poll on my Instagram. I'd say heads or tails. What should I call? I'd make it as simple as that.
Let the fans do it.
It's their fault if it goes wrong, not mine.
You know what? That's hilarious. Could you imagine, though, if he did that and then he sticks with it and it still goes wrong? The media will destroy him. He will get yes, they would. Absolutely. Oh, look at he takes a decision.
I'm a man of the people. I go with the voice. Could you imagine if they tell him like tails and he goes with tails and it is tails and India ends up winning? Can you imagine how everyone that voted, everybody in India is like, we helped them get that championship? How cool that would be. Kohli, think about it. Think about it. It's not too late.
Could you imagine, bro? You know what? Why not? Because his
exactly.
is that bad. Or send somebody else out to flip the coin.
But not just that, but the BCCI, man. I mean, let India make the decision. Don't put all that on one man. Let India make the decision. Get a vote out there.
Wow. Could you imagine, bro? That would be super cool.
If you think about it, it's not as crazy as you think about it. If every team in whatever format that does coin tosses, if every team had that kind of whole thing where their fans are able to vote on what they're going to call, it would be a fun, cool part of the game. Because right now it's one man's decision. It's right. One man's decision, and it is what it is. We all know it's luck of the draw. There's nothing to it. I honestly think it's a really good idea. Anyways, any final thoughts on WTC?
Man, I'm excited to catch some of the WTC. Listen, my new shift, I'm not off till 2 a.m. So I need a few hours of rest before I get up there. But I will be here with you, brother. Probably sitting through a few rain delays. My final thought, I hope they got the best of the best of the best umpires, because we've seen some horrible umpiring in cricket and in all professional sports. A big controversy just happened in the NBA in the playoffs, guys. And, that's the one thing I don't want to see, Nick. I don't want to see a game and, that is swung one way or another. I don't care who wins, but because of an umpire's decision. You should not be that big a part of the game. Does that make sense? And man, it's, to me, it's like, you watch any sport, pick a sport, close your eyes and spin the wheel and go into that sport and then look it up online. I guarantee you there's some kind of umpiring or refereeing controversy.
Because the umpires, they are part of the sport. I'm sorry to say it. They are. If they weren't, we wouldn't need them. We wouldn't need someone to make the final decision. You have to have someone, and a lot of times they're going to make mistakes. A lot of times it's just a tough call, but they made the right call. I'm not talking about MLB umpires. I think they're absolutely garbage and emotional, this or that. But, I heard Buckner's coming out of retirement. No, I was kidding.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh.
We will have to see. I'm super excited to catch some of it. Hopefully, when I do get up and I go on here, it's not rained out. But, ladies and gentlemen, check us out on our channel to see if we're streaming at that time. It starts 3 a.m. our time, so we won't be starting it right away. But check in a third session at least, and you'll see us on here for most of those days. But with all that being said, let us know what you think about our thoughts. Let us know about your excitement and what you think about WTC going forward. And don't forget to hit that poll to see which cricket convo you want us to go with next. With all that being said, thanks so much for watching this. And until next time,
that's 6 runs.